Hi, this is Paula Bernier with TMC. I'm here at ITEXPO in beautiful Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and I'm speaking with Kevin Butler with Vertical Communications. Welcome, Kevin.
Thank you, Paula. I appreciate it.
So I understand Vertical is announcing its plans to release its Wave 6.0 platform and Viewpoint web solution. How are these offerings different from Vertical's existing products?
Sure. What we're doing is doing a natural evolution of our product. We've been selling an all-in-one solution in the telephony space for many years, an all-in-one with a full UC set of feature set. And now we're looking with Wave 6.0 to virtualize that and bring that into the data center so that we can continue to offer the feature set, which is a little different than a lot of other UC providers because they've always been sort of focused on telephony in the cloud, but not the contact center, instant messaging, collaboration, all that larger feature set. With Wave 6.0, we bring all of that all-in-one solution into the data center as a virtualized product. And Viewpoint Web is basically taking our award-winning UC client and turning it into a web browser-only solution. So you no longer have to install any software, you don't have to put an app on your phone, you just have to go to the right web address in whatever your favorite browser is.
Great, sounds interesting. So what is Vertical's perspective on cloud communications, and are there gaps in existing offerings? And also, can you talk a little bit about the company's strategy for filling in those gaps?
Yeah, sure. What we see is that we're in sort of the end of Cloud 1.0, which has been making things easy for our customers. Making it easy to buy, making it easy to implement, but really it's been focused on the customers. We're seeing that Cloud 2.0 now is focusing on the customer's customer, making it easy for them to interact with the customer. When they call in or communicate, how can we make it simpler? And one of the ways to do that is providing customized workflows, things that are not cookie cutter and standard. And that's what we see has been offered in the marketplace so far. Hey, it works the same for this customer and for the next 10,000 customers. But there are a lot of things where it's got to be very unique. We spend a lot of time in vertical markets trying to find specific solutions. In fact, that happens to be my job with the company, is doing just exactly that. And we build those very specific solutions to fill in the exact gaps that you're talking about. Because when you have cookie cutter solutions, there's space left over, right? They're the people who need very specific things. And we go into their vertical markets, figure out what that is, and try and do that for them.
WebRTC is a hot trend. What is Vertical doing with WebRTC?
So I just talked about Viewpoint Web a moment ago. Viewpoint Web is heavily WebRTC enabled. That's how it can be a browser-only application. We don't have to spend any time with you installing a plugin or doing any of that because we leverage WebRTC. Also, our vertical meetings, which we launched last year, is a WebRTC enabled product to allow the end user not to have to install anything once again, but be able to do a full collaboration client. And we expect to take that forward in our strategy as well, because WebRTC is really well enabled for helping that customer's customer thing again, once again, so that you can have a rich experience with video and various kinds of media without the customer having to do anything to achieve that. They just have their web browser, which they're used to using, and when they have that, they can access all of our services using WebRTC.
Right, meeting customers where they are. Vertical has always differentiated itself as a provider that addresses workflow challenges. Will Wave 6.0 enable Vertical to continue this initiative?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of the key things here is not just getting more of our capabilities into the cloud, but building a framework in which we can do what we do best, which is those customized workflows for specific customers and specific vertical markets. Wave 6.0 also comes along with what we call Vertical Cloud Connect, which is an infrastructure of authentication, mediation capabilities that we build right into the cloud so that we can build new services and new capabilities very, very quickly to go into specific customers, specific vertical markets. So this is a really big step forward for us in being able to do those kind of things in a cloud-based environment.
And some of the capabilities in Vertical's new solutions relate to the delivery of microservices. Can you explain what that is and why it's important to your customers?
Sure. So the Vertical Cloud Connect framework gives us all the abilities to do a lot of what you find when you build an application. Hey, I'm this person, here's the rights that I have, here's what I can do, here are the services I'm subscribed to. We've all done that as a standardized piece, which is why we talk about microservices, because all we have to build in is the very specific application. All the back end of the app is already taken care of. It's very much like what happened several years ago with mobile operating systems. Android and Apple did all of the authentication, all these other pieces, so that apps could be built that weren't full applications, they were just very specific and targeted. We're going to be doing the same thing in the voice and communication space, by providing these vertical market services, these microservices as we call them, focus very specifically on whatever that solution is that that customer needs or that vertical market needs. And the real key here is incredibly quick time to market. We can identify the problem and we can get a solution out as fast as possible.
Right. Why reinvent the wheel every time if you can create a foundation to build on?
That's right.
Vertical has traditionally been very strong in the retail and automotive sectors. Are there any markets the company will aggressively pursue in the coming year?
Yeah, absolutely. One of our key focuses is going to be healthcare. It's a space that has a huge amount of business going on, but has some real problems. I mean, one of the key ones is regulatory. Everyone's always talking about HIPAA in that space and figuring out how to deal with that and address that. A great place for our Vertical Cloud Connect framework to go in, because we can make sure that that's HIPAA compliant, and then building new services become easy and it's not a hassle every time we have to put something in that space. We'll be focusing in on some specific areas of that because, let's be honest, healthcare isn't a vertical market. It's a massive structure. So we're going to be spending time with assisted living, we're going to be spending time with smaller medical clinics and focusing in there and developing solutions just like we've done in the auto and retail space.
Great. Well, thanks so much for being with us today.
Thanks, Paula. I appreciate your time.